Alright, greetings and salutations. Greetings. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. Should I get in the voice chat? Nah, just have a voice chat this morning. Oh, man. So, for me, it is very early in the morning. Alright, not very. It's 11, but still. I barely think I got 4 hours of sleep. I stayed up late last night and made sure... Nice. I stayed up late last night and made sure everything... All the videos that I had uploaded, or all the videos that we had recorded, got uploaded. So these can actually get deleted while I'm thinking about it. So yeah, we got all those videos uploaded. We've got something like 90 some videos put up on YouTube now for the walkthrough Just This Life. So we're doing pretty good. I don't even know how many quests so far, but get a rough idea if we were to count these bad boys. Here, look at how many we have to do, though. We still have so many to do, which is good because we're gonna need a bunch of them next life. But excuse me. Alright, I guess not the next life. The time we do this, the next time. But right now, I think we're going to continue on with Sharn. Keep pushing through that. That's Sharn ticket to the Clifftop District. There's stream elements. This is us getting slammed by noise here in a second. Let's jump to best laid plans. Let's get this party started, shall we? Alright, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to The Road Most Traveled. We're going to do best laid plans today. And, yeah, let's just jump in and get started. So, I mentioned previously in the last video that
begins in a tavern. You're supposed
I'm not a huge fan of the
He'll give you an off-the-record tour
of the Red Rain because it's a lot of running around. But that quest is better than this quest by a handy margin. Excuse me. I'm trying to figure out what even like belt. And this guy didn't start
Victor
walking.
asked you to wait for him outside. Looks like getting inside his warehouse won't be a problem.
I'm not sure what like weapon set will be the best, to be honest.
If you'll just follow me, I'll cough when it's time for us
It's a
to
little
part ways.
bit strange. There is a bunch of iron golems in this first part, and in the next wave as well. And iron golems don't care about fire, but I don't think they care that much about cold either. I guess we'll start with the cold and see if that shoots everything. If it doesn't, we'll go to deal with it. So one of the things about this quest in particular is obviously that you have to go in the back way here, figure things out. But then it's got one of my least favorite mechanics. Break all the breakables. You guys know me. Know me too well. I just don't want to play. Oh, the thing's over there. Alright, there's the ledger. So we found the thing we actually need here. A ledger. Of course, there's an optional here for breaking some boxes. I only need a little They are taking reduced damage from cold, but not that bad. I'm not worried about these guys. Let's worry about these reconstructors. These reconstructors are terrible, by the way. From my point of view. They're great. They're great little mobs for crushing us, but terrible
Hear a
for
scream of pain from up above. A scream cut short with steel.
they're little. They
Hear
have
a gruff
way too many
voice
hit
howl.
points for the amount of damage they
A more
output.
measured
It's
voice
crazy.
responds.
Alright, so we slipped into the venting work for this guy's building here. So I'm going to peek down, see that purple is a red triangle, a red diamond. So just look over here at the red diamond. Then I'm going to glance in here and see that orange is also red diamond.
An otherworldly air of confidence surrounds them.
And then I'm just going to turn this wheel
Appears to be their leader.
until the door pops
Pick up
open.
the pace, shall we? We still have to destroy the lab downstairs. Portal, please.
Alright, so now we're in the office.
Now! Snaps the being in a commanding tone.
Gotta pull that, and we gotta get
Hear
into
a
the
familiar voice somewhere nearby.
basement. But now trash is gonna spawn.
Surprise.
We want to get this trash cleared. You want to get these tacticians first, because they'll throw technical detonations. Technical detonations by monsters are pretty insane.
Whatever documents were stored in the office are beyond salvage. There might be something useful down in the lab.
Down with the
Or
finger.
wherever those mercenaries
Lived. What kind of shenanigans is this? What kind of shenanigans is this? And then we'll start shooting the reconstructors. Alright, do we look good? Can we go now? Alright, it looks like we're good. Alright, so we're back in the ventilation shaft, and now we're gonna jump down here and we're gonna try our best to. Oh hey, this is probably part of the problem. Going to try our best to prevent some of these golems to break some stuff here that we don't want them to break.
The familiar voice calls out up ahead. Time's up. Your golems will have to finish this. Time to move, people.
Nope. Alright, so this is the part of the quest that I actually dislike the most, is trying to do this optional of us rescuing the prototypes. I feel like the golems are too one-minded. You just like rush in here and rescue a prototype. See, and we can't like loot it early. We have got to knock out these robots. Now we can click it. I feel like rescuing these prototypes is insane. Are you hitting me for enough acid damage that you're over? You are. Look at you. Aren't you adorable? I was afraid for a second another. I saw the screen shake and I thought somebody had snuck in to break the thing. I was about to pretend to cry. We are high enough level now. We could also use our shield golem. We should probably upgrade this guy off of that guy off of our bar. The one in here is already broken, right? Yeah, that's where that forge rate came from. But we can open this chest that's laying here for us. We'll wait until our rune arm is charged and start with the volley of the rune arm. Okay. Grab another heal really fast. Now, normally I clean the shrine out, so I have the possibility of rescue in the event that I screw up somewhere. Well, we got one of the two guys in here. That does feel good. So now we gotta rescue. If we're gonna get this optional, we have to rescue the next one now. Oh, we got it. Whew. That is so hard, which is the reason I dislike this quest. Is I'm trying to get this optional. And again, normally I'm not a person that does optionals, but if they're on the way, I like to at least try. You know what I mean? Like, I may find 4 sheets of paper when there's 5, and there's another one hidden off around the corner. But if there's an opportunity to take a shot at doing something, especially something like stop guys before more guys spawn, like, I'm down for giving that a shot generally. And this optional feels ridiculously done. Tripping those guys are very difficult. You can't stun them. You can't interact with them in a meaningful way. I would really like to have a better way to do that. But again, you know,
Victor directs more guards away.
it is possible to do. So we just did it. There'll be one at the end, so you only have to save 50% of the ones down here at the bottom, which is 2. There's 4 down at the bottom. Hello, please heal my zombie flesh. Please try again. Ooh, we missed this alchemy table. Now I'm like twice as happy as I was before. Free alchemy table? Yes, please. Wow.
You think you're clever? Well, you're nowhere near as clever as Bolt. His resources
Do not know
virtually
what exactly
limitless.
is
I press this button, and more guards show
flying
up,
by right
just
now, I
like
guess.
that.
Could be driving by, I suppose, but a long drive by. I assume you guys picked up most of that. I do love the music. Just wish it wasn't as loud, like slightly better normalized. I do think that Sharn is much closer than some of the other content for where audio should be. Surprise, apparently. Carnage the Reaper coming out of nowhere, giving me hugs and kisses. Alright, speaking of hugs and kisses, now we're going to come up here and talk to...
You can't touch me! This is one
Talk to
of Paul's
Duder.
prototypes!
And I have taken to fighting at the bottom of this ramp
Victor presses a button.
and inside the
Sphere of force
top of this ramp. The main reason why is, when I'm solo anyway, the main reason why is in the event that I get murdered here, like something happens, which it does. And it's pretty easy for this quest to overwhelm you at times. That
Wait.
this way I can run down to the shrine as a ghost if necessary.
Didn't think this through.
But also the multiple waves of trash will spawn on the stairs, so it's pretty, in general, it's pretty easy to get the various waves of trash to come down these stairs. Where's this last?
I'll just teleport away!
Victor tried to do just that. It seems Victor has thought about the dimension he put in place. It's over.
Work, damn you! Work!
Victor mashes the button on the magical device in frustration. Nothing happens.
Alright, now I want to save one more no holes barred for the for the waves of, I don't forget what they're called now. The undead ghosts guys.
A hissing, chilling chant comes from somewhere below.
Forge Wraith, that's what they're called.
As this chant continues, forge wraiths coalesce in the air around Victor.
Alright, you want to be really careful. The Forge Wraiths have a couple of really nasty attacks. And you want to do the best you can to kind of not be in front of them. Again, where the Inquisitive kind of excels. Should be a couple more to spawn here. Alright, fire it off. It's enough that I just want to make sure that they're down here.
Alright, don't do anything rash. I'm coming out.
Apparently I managed to irritate this all these trash mobs from before that we were able to skip. Alright, so we have a couple of choices here. We can let this guy deal with the... Let this guy go and make a deal. Or we can take him out. This is a pretty bad dude, but I just tend to let him go because I'm good. I'm a good guy. Get the prototype. Get the last. Optional here. Break a bunch of trash. Ooh, Sunstone Gauntlets. I don't think I have these. Smash a bunch of stuff. And then you gotta smash even more things. I'm like, ugh. So many things to smash. So I tend not to smash anything. Obviously, if you're gonna take the time to do the optional, you should do it before you complete the quest, which you can do up here at the end with before you complete the quest, because you got to talk to that guy and free him. But you have to smash enough stuff to find the ledger anyway, so you're not that far away, especially if you can smash things at range easily with like a sonic blast or rearm charges, but still. Let's look at the quest stats really quick. 17 minutes for let's see what the actual experience was. For 30,800 and 407 Reaper experience, and then the optionals kind of ticked in for. There was a 4,000, a 1,300, and a 1,000. So we got what next row? Say 6,000 experience for the last two for the breakables, and then the first tier for not letting those go. It's a big chunk of change of the quest, really, and those three optionals. Alright, I hope you enjoyed. I don't remember what the name of the quest was now. You enjoyed the quest? Let's talk to this person, get the name of the quest. It's not going to tell me. You monster. Best laid plans. Yes! Got there. Thanks for watching Best Laid Plans. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. We'll see you next time. Toodles. Good morning, Legion. How you doing this morning? I have a favor letter. I want to get rid of it. The mailbox is down below. Oh. Thank you. Trying to kind of go. See how the cloak looks weird there? I pointed that out to Beef, and Beef's like, that only happens to you. Like, but look at it. It definitely looks like that. See, and it flicked. Captain Kronk, thank you very much for the follow, my friend. Appreciate it. Welcome to the USS Fat Halfling. See, there, it did it again. And I can't. I'm sure it's some sort of. See, it did it here too. I tried to explain it, but it doesn't always work. Anyway. Just trying to crank through these things. I'm glad that people are watching them. I went ahead and I checked the stats a little bit this morning. I stayed up a little bit late last night and made sure that all of them got uploaded. All the ones that we had recorded. And they are, in fact, picking up a little bit of steam. Thought that was pretty nice. The Reavers bait actually, it's got a bunch of, not a bunch, but it's compared to some of the rest of them, considering I uploaded it at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, it's got a bunch of watches considering. But yeah, please take the time to hit the thumbs up button on those. I really appreciate it. Looks like somebody's going through and watching the videos and giving them a thumbs up, which I appreciate. All right. Let's get this. Let's get this party started on the same old song. Everybody, welcome back. It's time for the same old song, getting experience, killing monsters. But this one's actually the same old song quest as part of the Sharn Pack. I mentioned the previous two quests I'm not as big a fan of. This one I actually really like. I like a lot. I like the way this quest kind of plays out and is designed. I think this one, to me, is a lot more fun than some of the other ones.
Perhaps now you can drive a wedge between the Boromar and
I like the ideas behind it. I feel like the building is a little bit large, but even that I can deal with because I do enjoy how the quest kind of plays and feels. I'm gonna throw a dancing ball over here first, and we're gonna get a move on.
The group of thugs suddenly attacks. Clearly, they want to prevent you from enjoying a night.
I don't understand why they'd fight to the death. I feel like the mob should have a intelligence check to try to run away. Like a morale check to try to get away.
They must not be on the guest list.
Like, not very many people fight to the death. Alright, so we're gonna talk to Fenwick. Fenwick won't let us talk to was it Regina? Until we talked to all of his guys, which is basically an excuse to get us to clear the map for this tunnel so we can see where the bad guys come in the future. We talk here, and then this crate, we're gonna do a heal check on spellcraft. There we go. Those checks are not super high. So you should generally be able to get one of those for sure. I don't think I have to talk to this guy, but we will, just in case. And then you have a couple of different times. You're going to, at some point, probably going to have to go into the kitchen area. So it's probably value to just go ahead and get it a little bit cleared on the map. And of course we have this map, or this rare encounter right here, just the rat infestation. Alright, the Brits have just logged on. Give me 1 second to do things. Alright. Nope. Alright, I just needed to have Grim let me know if there is a link that she would like me to link to when we share her DDO solver. Alright, so this door is locked, and then I believe there's also a locked chest in here. I don't think the DC is super high. I guess we'll find out if I have to put on my key lock ring or not. Looks like 48 did it. So I'll turn on my death aura so I don't have to worry about my hireling just yet. So we fix the door, we'll talk to the guy. Good little dinos. These dinos will actually basically clear this
terribly unusual. You can tell Fenwick that all is quiet.
this back room for us. Alright. So now we gotta talk to the NPC that triggers off the actual encounters here. You can go through all the different optionals and stuff, but realistically you're going to get to the point after a question or two where it'll say, do you hear that noise, prepare for combat? And that's just where we want to kind of be going to. You have insta-kill effects. Personally, I've generally found, unless they happen to be champions that don't insta-kill, that the special guys, the harpies, are generally fairly good at just being like fingered or insta-killed. And then of course you just look at your map. There's going to be 2 spawns, I believe, at a time. And I tend to focus on the harpy, and then I clean up trash. I don't know if that is the best way to go about here, but seeing how I think of things. He's a hero, so he probably won't die this time. Give him a shot. Okay. Now, I'm not one of the people that have every single capability memorized from each of the they have a name, the champions. I do try to keep a rough eye on, like, there are ones that I find problematic and I keep those in mind, but like the random powers that typically go with the hero soul, I don't know, right? Like, I know that it'll self-heal. That's the thing that kind of irritates me. I know that one of the... I have to look at... When I see its name, I know, oh, that one's immune to insta-death effects, because I'll have a death ward running, etc., stuff like that. But I couldn't, like... You couldn't give me one like Isoul and expect me to rattle off, like, the common power that's associated with it. Like, beast marks hit really hard. You don't want them to hit you very hard, but as long as you kind of stay a little bit away from them, they're not really that big of a deal. Oh, they are giving us the chest today, though.
Rings throughout the nightclub. It's encore. The main stage must be under attack.
Just pop 1 or 2 more of these. I think it should be good shape. Like I said, those dinosaurs should basically clear that optional for us. Or, trash there. kind of interested at the fact that they picked a gargoyle to be the one in this particular fight here. Trying to target the Plague Reaper.
For now, have a moment to rest.
The moment of rest ticks off when you
The magical alarm triggered.
when you defeat the gargoyle. So if you need time to clear the rest of the trash to be able to shrine, you definitely want to kill the gargoyle last. Excuse me. I'm still trying to get my throat to wake up here this morning. But you definitely want to get the trash first. If you need to take time to shrine. Gotta grab this link from Grim here and save it for from the future. Man, excuse me. Like stone guards don't take damage or full damage from things that aren't bludgeoning. It's like those are the kind of things that are soul cruelties with dots on you. Those are the things that I remember, but I know that there's like a really consistent breakdown for certain guaranteed powers that can be troublesome.
More dimension doors have opened nearby.
And I need to do a better job of learning them. Alright, so we've already run all the way back to the back room. We usually don't have to go to the same room on the far sides more than once. The door's closed.
Issue. You hear panic shouts, screams, and snakes.
Oh yeah, snakes. You know what that means? It's time to put a little happy in our dance here. Want to be careful with Medusas. There are a couple of really interesting tips and tricks for fighting Medusas that we'll kind of try to talk about here. We probably won't use that much. But if she does the light thing on you, and you can't get away, you can shield block. And that'll prevent you from being turned to stone. Of course, you can also use like a spell absorption item, like a Pale Lavalier, or a cloak, Mantle the World Shaper cloak. There's jeweled cloaks. There's a couple other spell absorption items, and of course, the other thing you just do is you can stay away from her.
The attack is finally
Just run away when she starts to do
peaceful
the light,
quiet descends over the
turning to
nightclub
stone.
once more.
Like I said, I
Now you can
personally think Medusas are really fun,
your help
like
in keeping
mechanic
her
wise.
and Encore alive.
Something to keep an eye out
China
for is they
has
do have a
promised to do
Medusa's
everything
poison,
she
which is
can
a
to cut
huge
ties
hit.
between the Boromar
Huge.
clan and
Real
Ark,
careful.
Arcana
Tunic goggles. Or gauntlets, those aren't bad. Can't remember if they have different different elements on there or not. Alright, so the stats, 15 minutes for 26,000 regular experience and 390 Reaper experience. So again, not a bad rate of return. And back to Sharn. So earbuds prepare to be broken. And then there's one more guy like way over here. Now, there's a lot of things to love about this next quest, and there's a lot of things to not love about this next quest. Okay. Obviously, never mind. You know what? We're not going to record this video. We'll be back in a minute. I hope you enjoyed the video. I can't believe I got distracted again. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again real soon.
A lone figure stands idly on the platform next to a sky barge.
Urgh, get caught up, and I just go from A to B to B to C. I stop to record the openings. So aggravating. Alright, greetings and salutations, everyone. I forgot to stop the recording between Just the Business and Same Old Song, but we'll get it fixed up. So I mentioned that there's a lot of things to love about this quest and a lot of things to hate. For me, I forgot my hireling ran out. For me, one of the things to love is the fact that we get to fly around at a on a flying Nimbus, and especially since we're ranged, we're going to dominate things from the air. Just destroy things. On the downside, we're going to have to wait here a whole bunch. If we lose our flying Nimbus, we got to remember where to go. And also, sometimes I find this quest to be a little bit confusing to like negotiate through, especially if you like miss one or two guys. You have to clear every single mob out in an area before the NPC will proceed and advance the quest. So you have, if there's a guy hiding inside of a building and you have to go get him, I find that to be really aggravating, stuff like that. But that's the quest. Like I said, small price to pay for flying Nimbuses. Small price to play.
I know you invited our mutual friends on stage. Don't cry. Say, don't cry. That's better. This is just business, isn't it?
Just the business. Alright. So let's get spell prepped. Around it's just the business is when I like to try getting my spells activated here.
Not quite dead yet. Calibration issue, perhaps. No matter. Urk, Gesh, take Isabeth outside. We will adjourn to the yacht. It's time for the next act to begin.
Alright. trash should
Bond's
be
henchmen
on its way
release a
in.
Strange whooping bark.
As
The
we fall
darkness
down,
around you
they come from
erupts
above.
in a choir of menacing responses.
Think above.
An ambush!
Yeah, we
Damn
do
us
above.
for fools!
Shouts Casper. The old man produces a bow from him. Demon ships descend from above.
You mean it's flying nimbus. Okay, so you can't go too high and you can't go too low. But if you find yourself like just slightly above the bad men, you can kind of always have the high ground.
Dispatched Vaughn's first
And
group of assassins,
as I always
but
say,
sure
Obi-Wan
not
Kenobi
last.
taught us anything, it's
Vaughn
that you
doesn't
want
go
to have the
in
high
half
ground.
measures. Casper wheezes out his words.
Ooh, reminds me of my days in the last war, but with more chest pain. Too old for
That's the
this
guy.
for sure. Come here, we gotta talk about Isabel. She's
Oh yeah, talk
still
to this guy
alive.
first.
I bet my life on it.
You can't bring yourself to lead the old man to those gnolls.
Count me in.
He'll head out once he's safe. You've agreed to
We're gonna
help rescue
update,
him. To do that,
get our
you'll
flying
need to
nimbus
clear
here.
a way so Casper can follow safely.
Alright, let's go.
He says to head to the southeast.
It's a little bit higher, but not too high.
Don't forget,
Shouts Casper.
those source sleds can't go too high or too low without losing their enchantment. Keep above the fog and don't try to push over the higher walls and you'll be fine.
Another wave of gnoll mercenaries bursts from the shadows.
Just a little bit more high
Show
ground.
those
There's some
brutes
behind
they
us.
can't mess with my girl.
Cries Casper from behind you.
Nice cluster together. Let's see if we can. Oh, there's too much forward momentum on that. And it was wasted.
A motley crew of creatures takes up position on the bridge, spoiling for a fight. The low bellow of an ogre accompanies the shrill cries of goblins.
Just sidestepping, strafing is your friend. Doesn't quite turn on a dime, so keep that in mind. Come on here.
A
This,
strange-looking goblin
soul?
glides up above the bridge. The limp form of
Come on,
Isabel
up.
lies on his source land. The goblin shouts abuse at his gnoll escort.
Nobody's made
go.
mincemeat out of your fleabag nose. I told you the direct approach wasn't gonna work. I'm gonna go bait the hook on my plan.
We goblin meat. Not set to work together as a pack.
The gnoll snarls as he
Do
runs.
the
up
gnolls
against
just
the
say, wait one doggone minute?
In the distance, you hear the gnoll snarl.
We cannot look weak. No.
That'd been great.
Die first. Always.
Alright, we have a minute and 50 seconds left on our flying nimbus.
Replies the goblin.
Let my flying pets soften them up. Now move before the fireworks start.
Alright, we have bad guys on the way. So we want to make sure that we fight at least some number of these guys in a place where their flying nimbus is going to land where we can reach it.
A mob of gnolls and goblins have taken up positions atop a nearby wine shop. You'll need to clear them out for Casper to land safely.
Come on. I don't care about the Fear Reaper below us right now. Not the gnolls right in front of us. We're gonna need to be pretty careful on our healing here. We don't have a big hireling to boost us up. We can summon Ellery. But we are on scroll slash self-healing mode here. Now we want to keep an eye out. These a lot of the doors, especially when you have to go inside, tend to be trapped. So we want to just range open these doors here. try not to land on the ground. See what I mean? We didn't see that when we searched, so we may have been out of range. You can fly in and out of the building through the top of here.
I'll watch your back.
And you won't have to deal with the traps. But I often find that if I do that, I'll end up missing something. Like I'll forget a room or something. So if I fly in that front door, then I tend to clear out the entirety of this building. Alright, these bats are crazy. They will kill you.
A swarm of bats clouds the street before you. Some kind of metal glints on their bodies as they flit about, blocking the path.
Now, it's not unreasonable to like fly to right in front of the glass here and just cast like an ice storm. Some AoE that the bats will take a bunch of damage from. There's a Reaper in here. But the bad guys will shoot out from the broken glass once if you get close enough to aggro that section of the mechanic. Ooh, we're gonna have to do some heals here, I think. Alright, let's take a second and get Ellery's help. Thought for a minute she just fell through the ceiling. I'm like, wait, you can go through the ceiling? Alright, let's get it up for now. Traps into and out of this area if you go through the regular door. Oh, Ellery's gonna get busy with it.
Exploding bats? Gods, what a circus! Who's going to explain this mess to the city watch come the morning?
Mutters Casper as he coasts along behind you.
Again, I'm not sure why I'm not searching them out when I... There's one. I don't know how many it takes to get
Shadows move
trap bonuses or anything here.
to a nearby market. More famous mercenaries await your attention.
Again, we're going to try to fight over a walkway because we are getting low on our flying nimbus. Yeah. This mana while we can click it here. Come on. Find that one. Doesn't matter to me which one we click on, just click on one. Thank you. Alright. Right up here, there's actually, I think, a really cool, not so much a mechanic as a graphical thing. These goblins that have like camouflage, I think are really cool. It has a really interesting thing that the developers did there. And of course, by having the red dots, you don't feel overly gypped in that area. in my opinion. Because you can still find them on the map, but then you still might have to look around a little bit for them. So I thought that was really cool. Alright. So what we want to try to do is pick angles where the least amount of monsters can attack us back. It's not really the monster I wanted to shoot, but that's okay. Just barely creep forward. Those guys will basically be able to get them.
Casper calls from behind.
A mage fire cannon! Must have been holding that in reserve. Those things are expensive. On we go.
Alright, you'll notice that there's a series of... Hey, Papa Gore, thank you very much. Notice there's a series of red dots behind us on the mini-map up here, so we do still have to clear inside this room, or building. But, something to keep in mind while you are inside this room, however, out of the car to the right, and come up and get us with the Reaper. He hasn't started like shouting at us. Something to keep in mind is that there are a lot of traps in this little area. The mines, the same kind of thing as before. I know there's some on the stairs towards the bottom. Don't remember if there's any place else here. Dang it. I'm gonna try to get as many of these mines as possible. I don't know what the bonus numbers are. I'm sure the DDO wiki does. Never mind. Screw it. Screw it. We're done. That's it. I'm over it. Over the mines. No trap bonus for us. Okay, and you'll notice like right about here, we haven't had another Flying Nimbus patch in a little while. Which to me means there's got to be a good reason for that. And to me, the reason is that this optional right here drops off some. It also happens to be a shrine, which makes life convenient for my fellow casters. This will be a spot where I'm just gonna respell all my good spells here. I grab a few points of mana back from Ellery. I don't need a bunch. I think our Concord Knop is keeping us in a pretty reasonable shape. And we'll have Ellery Shrine. And then once she's actually down, you can tell them to stand still. Open the door first to maximize our amount of sword sled time / Flying Nimbus time. And we're back on it. Now, this fight can get a little weird. Right, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that comes down as well. They're each going to have a cannon on them. So again, we're going to try to kind of minimize the amount of junk that we have to deal with. Strafe side to side. Now there's incoming Flying Nimbus eyes. Looks like they did not started coming at us yet. And we're just going to side to side. Keep as little amount of trash as possible. It's almost like Inquisitive was built for this, right? Alright, here they come. Shoot the first guy. Stygians, those are ones that have Death Sword all the time. If you don't have the ability to range like an Inquisitive or a throwing build or something like that, another reasonable strategy in my opinion is to charge and get underneath the cannons and then just like pick yourself up occasionally to shoot down. The cannons have a pretty slow rate of fire, so you can bounce up and down their range very closely. And again, you have to make sure you have a flying nimbus for that.
Casper gasps in surprise as he reaches the wreckage of the Mage Fire cannon.
So we're almost at the point where we can't nimbus anymore anyway, so it's not too bad that we are a little bit out of. We're running low on time. We're almost at the end of the quest. But inside this locked room happens to be a little chest. I believe it's also locked, right? Nope, not locked. As well as another shrine, and that's because we're near the pseudo-in fight. There's this quest has like numerous layers to boss fights here.
Looks like they're using skywards. Casper tells you. Your source sleds might suddenly stop working out here.
Might.
Be careful.
Might suddenly stop working. Or you're gonna fall like a rock. That's what I thought. Okay, so this is like the most impressive knoll of all time.
The goblin says you're strong, but he's just a
It's like the captain
Enough waiting. I'll butcher
gymnast
you now.
knoll.
Feast on your flesh and keep all the glory for myself.
Work on the other trash first. Also an issue. I find it to happen mostly in this quest, specifically with this fight right here. But it does happen in other quests. If you charm one of these gnolls, see, there he goes. He's spinning. He's spinning. Spin to win. If you charm one of these gnolls right here, they will break the charm, but they'll still have their hats on, so they'll still look like they're not charmed. So you'll be taking damage from your own guys, as well as, if I remember correctly, you won't be able to target them with hostile effects.
So that leaves just little old me.
So,
Great big bounty. No
word to you out there who
hard
like to
hit
charm,
and
that's
some
not
nice
the fight to be
feed
charming people.
I'm all ready for you, so come on over.
High above the construction.
Alright, here we have a couple of different ways to kind of do this fight. I like to stand up on this particular area and shoot him. I know a lot of people don't like this method, and people have started going back here behind, down that direction. I personally don't care for that very much. I'd rather fight over here where I can see everything coming easily. And we know that dude's up here. Saw him. Yeah, there's more archers that can kind of pling at you, and in Epic is probably a different story, but you're on Heroic, I'm not as worried. You see that little blue ring around you? He's going to shoot his mega shot at you, and you want to kind of dance around just a little bit.
I see you. This might hurt. Hey, I got a present for ya.
It's like right up here, if I can just...
The assassin source line descending slowly, holding the limp form.
So again, like I said, you could also fight back here. This helps with some of the chip-in damage. but I feel like it's much slower. Win some, you lose some. Win some, you lose some. Isabet, no!
You've reached Isabet, but
Alright.
all is not well.
So, it took us 22 minutes to get 30,800 experience, 407 regular experience. But, good items come from this chest, if I remember correctly. Of course, this guy's got a Gibber's Blade somehow.
Says the goblin.
Boss man ate up her soul with his new improved font. Why use your own when you can
And
use
we got
someone
a
else's?
bunch of nothing, so
Sorry, sweethearts.
we're out of here.
The goblin
If you
stares
are
at
out of here and you enjoyed the video, please
odd,
slam
yet
the thumbs up
strangely
button. I would
familiar
appreciate it.
blade piercing
And
his
of course, you know, enjoy some of the other videos we happen to have here. I am trying to grow the YouTube channel quite a bit this year, so if there's something else you'd like to see, feel free to let me know, and we'll see you really
Need to see
soon.
a fallen angel
Cheers.
about a spell. You know how it is.
Alright, people are coming in over on the Twitch side. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. If you've never been here before, when we're doing these recording videos, I'll be doing introductions and closings on each video. So, I'll let you guys know when I'm actually logging off of Twitch. If there's a conversation you'd like to have, and I don't think it pertains to that particular quest that we're doing, or it's a conversation that we want to wait on, I will wait between quests. But I'll discuss anything that you guys want to discuss, as long as it's clean. Here between quests, so if you've been waiting to ask me something or to discuss something in particular, now's a great time to start throwing this stuff out there. Meanwhile, we're just gonna go sell a bunch of junk. Empty our backpack a little bit. I just feel like when they give me a spell inscription thing and a scroll for it, I should probably scribe it. I don't know. Again, it feels like DDO saying, "Here, learn something." I'm like, but I don't wanna. It's fine. Alright. Knocked out the first bit of Sharn, so chain 1. That's not where I parked my car. Yoink. Are we gonna avoid the cavalcade of screaming? Again, I like the music. I think it's pretty sweet, but so needs a little bit of normalization. Oh, here we go. We didn't dodge it. Alright, Charm Part 2. No refunds. So Legion's asking an interesting question. I will probably do a stream. It might even be next week, or it might be this weekend or something, where I'm going to be going through some of my older characters and kind of evaluating their gear and processing it for what to keep and what to get rid of. So I'll try to kind of discuss that stuff during that stream, Legion. I may even have like a Tobrel with me, and we'll try to discuss that exact concept in a short video, and if I do, I'll playlist. Right now I have a guide section with one video in it. And it's more for like builds and tips. As opposed to like the walkthrough type guides. But I'll try to keep in mind something about that. But here's the general rule of thumb, Legion. In general. Most of the time, whatever the newer pack is going to have the better version of the gear. Right? So if we just open up the DDO wiki and we examine the releases here, the gear here in Keeping the Borderlands at level will typically be better than whatever else you're going to find for those levels. Typically. So like if you have nothing else to compare it to. So for example, if we go over here to update 44 and we look at the like the level 2 purchasable equipment that you can get from turning in basically the collectibles you earn. Scepter of Chosen Element, it's +1, 6% lore, 43% spell power at level 2. You are not really going to beat that at level. If you were to try to craft something, CC Planner, at level 2 on a weapon with a spell crafting ability, you're gonna get the same 43, and you'll probably get the same lore, right? So you could craft something along these lines that would be the same, but it's also going to have a red slot, and you could find an item that has a red slot on it, but if I remember correctly, that's going to shoot the level up on you. But I think a red slot goes up a level. Finding something that gives you Ghost Touch and has a red slot at level 2 is pretty hard to come by. Silver weapons, not such a big deal. Then it says here, oh, that's cool. I didn't know there was a rune arm in here. Go see about getting one of those. Then at level 20, exactly at level 20, you can pick up Epic Scepter, 16% lore, 111, which again, you should probably be able to craft exactly that. But again, already having a red slot on it's pretty good. Also looks like it's giving you Insightful Element and Insightful Wizardry, which are things you cannot craft in there. So on and so forth. And then these, like generic weapons here, or items at level 1. At level 1, they're really, really good. But I don't spend time myself personally at level 1. I tend to eat the experience stones that I save up along the way to get to like level 2 or level 3. But if you're level 1, some of these things are really good. Like, here's a Mantle of Gentle Descent, which is a permanent feather falling cloak with a blue slot. If you don't already have access to a feather falling item, that's a really good one to kind of start with, right? And it's got a pretty easy to tell apart cloak symbol, being that it's red, and most of the cloaks in DDO are not red, although they've been introducing a lot of red ones lately. So it's very possible that you could carry this around, this cloak, as your featherfall item and switch in and out. Same thing with like these hardy boots. They're giving stat attributes at level 1 now. That's pretty good. Blindness immunity. So if you were to go look at other level 1 gear, you're not going to find things that are really comparable to the new level 1 gear. So that's a good way to kind of look at it. The other way to kind of look at it is, what is it you're going to wear and at what points do you care, right? So for me, I tend to care at level 10 about the Ravenloft set, the Ravenloft stuff. So I tend at level 10, things that are level 10 I compare to the Ravenloft things. So when I look at weapons, it's got to be as good or better than a Ravenloft item for me to really think about it that much. So I pick up a let's say at level 10, I pick up a +2 Vorpal light crossbow of deadly 4, right? Whatever it is. And I look at that and I go, okay, well, let's compare it to the rat catcher. The rat catcher, it's got an extended critical range. It's got a red slot on it, etc. and so forth. So I'm comparing it mentally to the items that I already am using, and it's got to meet or exceed those. It's just not always easy to do. That kind of give you some rough idea, Legion. I know that's not always clear as mud. Gear in particular is really hard. Especially when you don't have exactly the right piece. I said I'll try to go into more detail with Tobrel when I try to do the. I said I want to clean up some old backpack slots because I want to take that character and I want to take that a bunch of these old characters and buy up a bunch of resistance shrines for them. Yeah. Alright, let's get started. Hey, greetings and salutations, everyone. Unfortunately, if you are subscribing to the channel, there are no refunds. But I do appreciate you. Also, we're going to do the quest no refunds. Again, I did not stop and pick up a healer. I probably should have for this quest. There's a couple of fights, particularly the end fight, and a couple of locations where they shoot stuff at you that is a little bit tougher than I think it needs to be.
Dealing with a security problem inside this store. For your own sake.
Hey, don't forget to talk to the manager here at the beginning. But all these guys with a little bit of force root arms can be problematic.
The manager says that once
right, there are notes. There's a note quest. I'm not good at that.
Open the door to the Sky Coach docks. They'll capture that fractious loser.
Have you got any guys killed with that Circle of Death? They may not have been active. Let's try to get them. Let's try. Fire off infinity burst. And I managed to get myself pinned in. It's nice. Wow, here we go. Already wishing that we had a hireling. The little force damages are pretty intense. That's fair. I do love it when I get surprised by something. I did not realize that one of those guys would activate up above us and proceed to try to kill us there. She jumped down. Just stayed up there. I have to say, I do feel really bad for these guards. They're just doing their job, trying to protect the places that they're assigned to protect. They don't realize that they're working for the bad man. They're just trying to get a steady paycheck. taking a ton of the force damages here. Stuck around the corner here. The force damage is really what's wrecking us. Soulless is also not a big help here. And I kind of like to have that rune arm at level 1. It's a piece of legacy gear that you could pass down. They charge super fast and they do a lot of damage. Alright, here's our first crest of the quest here. We have to get 3 more, so we're looking for a total of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and explore this changing room area and do this security optional. Sometimes it makes sense to do so because there'll be a crest down here. Terrell says he typically doesn't need to go down here. He usually finds them without having to come down here. I tend to find one down here pretty consistently, so I think it's got a pretty reasonable variety. Alright, it's Trapsmith. We need to watch out for a trap over there. Check out Aura. Aura's getting close. Why is the security guards hiding in the changing room? What's going on in here? Down, I guess. So that batch of guys over here trying to make their way to us. I guess we'll help them out. Because they can't figure out how to open this security barrier. I'd like to just get things cleaned up. So when we do move on, we're not going to get ambushed by a bunch of trash from behind. There's a bad guy somewhere throwing webs, and I do not see another caster. Oh, I must have did that trap by mistake. Alright, so let's head down to security, and we'll take a look at that optional. Not my favorite optional. I do enjoy this quest quite a bit, but it can be a bit of a pain. Break the breakables. They'll turn into constructs. You want to deal with them on an individual or small batch basis. as opposed to having to deal with them in mass, along with the big elemental that'll come alive, or golem that'll come alive. Again, we're gonna go to our good old standby helper here. What? I did not summon. Now we're not counting on Ellery to heal us all the way to full, but she'll definitely make a dent in our blue bar and our red bar. We don't have to take the time to shrine. That will empower us to continue on. So we did not have the crest down there. So I feel like the majority of the time that I come down here, there's a crest. Rubble keeps highlighting that I don't know where it is. Alright. So we can go up the ramp. Which it looks like we have some trash here up the ramp anyway, so we might as well get that tidied up. But I do prefer to go up this elevator, mostly so I can do my Baby Daffy impression of elevator go up, elevator go down. You four now push the button, I four push the button. Alright, so again we have a couple of casters that we're able to see down there. We got a couple of guards that are aggroed from all over the place. That guy with the coal. Alright, where does this other force damage come from? Shooting at us, but I don't think it's hitting us. There's a crest, it looks like. Some more bathtubs. Do you want a black bathtub or a porcelain bathtub? It's lots of choices. Two different styles of vanities as well. Down. Have to probably let a guy down. We're looking to get a table saw for a little while here, and to work on some projects for the bus, but I don't want to spend a lot of money because I'm just gonna get rid of it in 6 months, a year, whatever. I just need a table saw for a little while, really. But I don't want to rent one because that feels like throwing money in the trash. So as we walk, there's another crest. So I've been keeping an eye on Craigslist and Facebook and stuff, and there's a guy moving and he's trying to sell all of his tools, and I reached out like, hey, how much do you need? Blah blah blah. He seems to be really excited because he's posted it a couple of times and the price keeps getting lower. And now I feel like we've finally reached the point where I can pull the trigger. And I talked to him. Then we're gonna see hook up this weekend. But then I reread his post, and it doesn't include a motor for the table saw or anything. So now I'm like, I'm gonna tell this guy no, because you're gonna spend more on a buying a new motor, like a table saw, than you will buying a brand new table saw with the motor. All right. Something to keep in mind is that this little piece of wood that jets out from the wall does a really good job of blocking that socket, and it does the same thing on this side. So you gotta really kind of fiddle with it a bunch. Alright, now we can go through here and clean out all this trash. There's like, I don't know, a dozen guys in here. Oh. You have a fight through here and then another fight. But it has been pointed out to me, if you go backwards through the quest a little bit, you'll knock out a fight that you have to clean out anyway. And it'll allow you to circumvent a couple of different waves of the trash mobs. So, it is a tough fight though. These guys right here. If we manage to do this one security construct at a time, that would have been insane. So the soulless guy is hitting us for 180 compared to everyone else. Oh, these guys hit us for 102. Compared to everybody else hitting for between 100 and like not that high.
This door is securely sealed from the other side.
I think the reason why is because this door is supposed to be securely sealed from the other side and it's not.
Security force. The gnome fits the description.
So this may be due to a bug that should be repaired. So if this does get changed in the future and you can't go that direction, then don't be upset when the quest gets changed. But I think it gets turned off when you turn in the security crest. I think it's encoded to the same door. Alright, so now we have to backtrack here slightly to find the gnome. And look at all these guys. They're certainly trying to kill us, aren't they? Purple ball is safety. Coming to our aid once again. To it, Ellery, darling. We may actually have to shrine this quest. That would be unfortunate. We acquired all the notes. Look at us. Doesn't happen for me very often, does it? Alright, so now we gotta get the notebook. Which is located a little bit later in the quest, but we need the key to carry on for now.
A small card by the door reads Huslav Nova, store manager. The door
Sweet
is
puzzle.
securely
Again,
locked.
like always, I
You need
tend
a
to
key to get in.
solve these puzzles
You
backwards.
unlock the door using the key to the manager's office.
That doesn't look correct, does it? I don't have this puzzle like memorized like I have some other ones. Here we go. Alright, so now the Sky Coach dock is undone. While we're all the way up here, you'll notice that this wall looks a little different right here. So we're going to investigate. Ah, secret door. Pray tell. Ah, and a chest with a bunch of traps. Nice. We knew that. When this quest first came out, you couldn't unlock this chest. You couldn't pick it. You couldn't anything. They got that fixed. You can open this sweet loot now. Alright, so this fight's gonna be pretty rough and tumble here. Go ahead and pull Ellery in. Firewall, or Ice Storm, and Web here. And then I'm gonna actually jump back behind this pillar. Ice Storm again, maybe, if I'm allowed to. And with these guys shooting us for as much as 100 points of damage a tick, we just want to do our best. 120. Do our best to try to keep them away, them over there. Alright, no reason to pick that up. We are in a position where we're going to have to shrine. This lowers a ladder, so people can climb back up if they fell down. Sorry, my neck is getting sore. I have the doctor today, so we're wrapping up a little bit early to go get our bones put back in place. Oh, Ellery got Gerard somewhere. Alright, we'll let that go. Just us then. Sweet. Alright, so this fight right here can be a little tough. But it's really mostly tough because all these boxes come to life and attack. But if you break these boxes... break the boxes. If you get these boxes broken beforehand, you can kind of control when they spawn.
I leave these barbarians to you, my dear. Give them a lesson.
And you can like knock them out quickly. Market Chaos. Manticore seems like bad news bears. It's a little bit of a backwards walking and a couple of fortunate crits. Alright, so here's the guy's notebook. Bam. How long will it take us? It took us 22 minutes for 27,000 experience. Not the best rate of return. 402 Reaper experience. And not the best item return. But I still like this quest. I enjoy it. Compared to like Red Rain in particular. I feel like Red Rain and this quest are around the same amount of time. But I enjoy this one more because it feels more action-packed and more up to my choices, as opposed to Red Rain feels like we're on rails. So, Hope you guys enjoyed the quest as well. No refunds. And we'll get our end reward and we'll have a good time. If you did enjoy yourself, please slam those like buttons. I would appreciate it. Like, subscribe, follow, etc., etc. And we'll see you guys real soon. Thanks for watching. Toodles. House o' Pain. House of Pain. Alright, greetings and salutations, everyone. We're continuing on our playthrough of the Sharn Part 2 chain. We're on our way to House of Pain. We gotta go find a man with a beard. There's a couple of really tricky spots in this quest, and I still did not go get a new hireling.
Greybeard, your would-be informant,
Um,
lives somewhere upstairs
So hopefully we don't make a bunch of big bad mistakes here. But,
The door into Evan's apartment stands before you, wide
I'm gonna
open.
take this guy's bag.
This
I'm
can't
gonna
be
talk
good.
to these people.
2 hobgoblin corpses lie at the feet of a stern gnome. The air smells of sulfur. And who in Khyber are you? The gnome demands in a
Alright.
pitiless tone.
So now we're gonna talk to the
gnome
neighbors.
inquisitive deputizes you to track down Evan Greybeard,
Pretty
a
easy,
dangerous criminal on the run.
easy experience here. Alright. Now, we're going to use a little metagaming. We're going to make sure that we have our fire shield running. We're going to make sure that we have our protection. We're going to fire off our goodness here, and we're going to be ready to hit the no holds barred. This little ambush here is, I mean, this is a lot of damage. Two Forge Wraith Wisps and 2 Forge Wraiths. They can get real nasty, especially if one of these is a champ. Get real bad, real fast. There's another one even. And another one. Wow. No, that's not the right exit. This is the right exit. Alright, but now once we're out in the lovely city of Sharn,
You have a
there's
sense
a lot of
being
like wandering
watched.
around to do through here.
More so than usual.
I try
Your recent
really
encounters
hard
with
to
an
just
unknown inquisitive and undead spirits
A to B
notwithstanding,
to C to D.
a searing gust blows over
But
you,
as you walk
and
around,
you
there
hear
are
whispered curses in
bad
your
men
ear.
along the way. Yeah, we want to go this way, not that way. So, there's the bar. You can tell because the city watch is right in front of him. How I know what it is I recognize this like fall down walkthrough that takes me to the bar. Everyone has their own way to remember these little shortcuts, but and landmarks, but that one's mine. You're welcome
This
to
must
use
be
it.
the place where Evan went for a
Right,
drink.
so now we just go talk to
Perhaps the
everybody
bartender has
until
seen him.
they say we don't have to talk to anybody anymore. Alright, and then we talked to one more person, so it's the second to last person we talked to. When we speak to enough people... Yeah, we're still missing something. There's one more bar here, and then when we talk to enough people, there should be a guy that spawns at the end. So who did we not... We missed something. This is all cleaned up. Did we not talk to the bartender, maybe? We must not talk to the bartender. Thought we did.
You turned to head outside.
So when we talk to enough people,
only
and
to
apparently
find a
also the
man
bartender,
standing
this
in
guy
the
over
path.
here,
He
will
beckons
show
you
up.
over.
And then we have to decide how we want to deal with going downtown. There's lots of different options that are all fine. Falling down is totally okay. jumping now with Featherfall is okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of work our way around. We're going to keep an eye open for the lady in black. But in general, what we're going to have to do is we're probably going to end up beating up a bunch of these guys who live down here. We're going to give them an excuse to attack us, aka walk too close to them.
These ne'er-do-wells have
And then they're going to decide to try to kill us for our shoes, apparently. Which are pretty nice, they're nice shoes. But as we work our way through this optional of teaching thugs manners, we will end up causing the chick to spawn. I think she'll spawn after so many monsters are killed. I think you can find her without killing any monsters sometime, but I think that's pretty uncommon. Otherwise, I think you gotta get like 15 to 20 guys, somewhere in that rough ballpark, and then she'll spawn. Should be somewhere kind of along these. Oh. Should be somewhere kind of along the way. This is an interesting puzzle. I wish I could solve it consistently. I would show you guys how to do it, but I can't. But it's like the shroud puzzles, in the sense that you got to get all the lights to turn on, and if you hit a switch, it'll get the ones next to it.
It still gleams with the magic of a Shan long vanished.
See, it looks like we have just this one button that needs to be turned on. I really wish I was good enough to figure out how to do this. That can't be it, because otherwise it would have gone. So what are we missing? There must be a button on the side that I can't see here on this side. Yeah, right there. So to me, this puzzle is in too many directions for me to kind of have figured out. I have solved it in the past, and then if you hit this button, it starts to work its way up top. But I don't know it very well. I believe there's probably a solver, again, on the wiki somewhere. I imagine someone has figured out a way to solve it consistently. Alas, that is just not me, though. We do it? I probably hit this one over here on the side again. Yep. This button over here is a real pain, I guess. 0% chance it's lit up. Oh, it is. I don't know why I'm looking to try to figure this out. I know I'm not going to get this one. It's like the definition of insanity here. Fiddle with that puzzle if all you like. When you do solve this puzzle, and I hope that you do, you'll get some pretty interesting. I suspect that has something to do with activating like these buttons over here, and getting things to like activate down. But when you do get this puzzle figured out, and I trust that you eventually will, in fact, the more I fiddle with it, the more I almost guarantee that it involves toggling those buttons somehow. Right, was that it? Did we succeed? No, there's no way. 'Cause that's not enough to get those, and if we hit these, it'll unlock the ones on the bottom. See, that one's messed up again. Anyway, when you do get this puzzle solved, 2 names will spawn. Did I try turning it off and back on again? Exactly. I said I have sat there and fiddled with it long enough until it works, but it is not. It's not a puzzle that I can do consistently on camera. But when you do finish it, 2 guys will spawn, and they'll argue with each other. If you knock them out there, then you'll get some stuff later. I think it'll give you a chest right away, and then you'll get an opportunity to avoid a fight. It basically transfers the fight from later in the quest to there. You need to just look up that puzzle and learn it. It's not currently on the DDO Solver app, so I don't know it. Wow, talk about a big punch in the guts there. Alright, so I would imagine that the lady in black is spawned somewhere here. So we want to kind of keep our eye out. A little bit harder. I thought I gave that guy the finger. This does feel a little bit like asking for trouble. Wow. They all saved. They took some negative levels, but they all saved at the end of the day. These guys have the high ground on us, we can't allow it. Obi-Wan taught us better than that. He was a great master. Yoda ain't never taught me nothing. There's the lady in black. Perfect. Alright, so we want to make sure that we're as healed up as we can. Be in a reasonable manner here. We're going to talk to the lady in black. This is one of my favorite dialogues in DDO. What's your angle? Who do you work for? I love this babble incoherently. I always click it every time. Alright. So, important thing to note, once somebody in your party has talked to her, the secret passage glows big and red right there on your map for everybody to see. I'm actually going to hit once more. Alright, we're going to end up inside this chamber. Now, the way to make this floor fall out is to break all these pipes. However, this room is trapped to the gills. Way more than just one. Okay? So, put on your trapping gear. Search it out. Just don't rely on your auto search, because you never know when your auto search is just going to act funky. It's like, oh, we were going to show you that next, but you started shooting things before we looked at it. We check every wall. If I remember right, there's 2 with 3 and 2 with 1. But I want to, again, I double check, triple check, because this room can be a bit of a pain if you don't have the ability to disable the traps. All of these mouths fire off and shoot acid at you, and lightning and other bad things. So you want to take a second, make sure this is clear. If you cannot, then you have to break all this stuff as fast as possible and get down this hole. Right, so you have a left and right choice. We want to try to go right. If we go right, we can potentially pick up an additional chest. So you have to land over here. And then once you land over here, I feel like there's a bad man that you're supposed to defeat. Maybe it's this rust monster.
In a place like this.
Alright, so if we solve the puzzle, there'd be a bad man here to defeat, and we would get a chest.
You find yourself in a small corner of the vast sewers that smoke beneath the city. If your suspicions are correct,
Yeah, look at these
mysterious
rats,
Alpha
just like
Venom
big
is a
boys.
hideout somewhere nearby.
Man, look at that rat. He just wanted us. Alright, collectible. Rubble. We have a shrine. I thought there was one more lever. There it is, a valve. One more valve over here. Oh man, we needed one more guy to finish cleaning up the
Look what
streets.
the cat dragged in. The crouching
There's
half
one more
orc
valve
barely
over
seems to
here.
be paying attention to you. How's the weather topside?
Should have looked around. Should have read my options. I didn't even stop to check the optionals. To be fair. Get a little close to hit points here. I would like to burst, but I don't want to heal these rats up, so I'm just going to move backwards and burst a couple of times once the rats are clear. Again, if we solved the puzzle, there'd be another guy to fight here and another chest. So they would have like talked at each other we would have got a chest, and then you would have picked up, I think, again, 2 more chests here. I could be incorrect on the exact order. Again, I don't solve that puzzle successfully that often, but I know that if you solve it, there'll be optionals guarding both of those valves, and then I believe you'll also get a chest for solving the puzzle immediately. So, all sorts of goodness. This guy's going to just be like, "Hey, I'm right behind you."
Ash de Therash, bounty hunter, is having a hard time with some kind of pipe contraption. Maybe you could help.
Because remember, while we were working for the police, we need to have a conversation with this guy. And he's very much in the bring him in dead camp.
At first, Lady Thora gapes at you like a startled deer. Then she sighs with exasperation. Curse contractors. If you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself.
I don't understand why a dancing ball didn't fire off there. That should have been... This water level should be low enough that you should be able to dancing ball in it. Don't know why. Why specifically here it's not. I'm gonna get an ice storm. Keep the bad things on us. I am fairly certain that these 2 NPCs can clean this room with enough time. But I would hate to waste all the time that we just spent doing this quest and be proven incorrect. Wow, 3 Reapers, nice. Alright, I guess it's time to go ahead and hit a fuselage button then, huh? Apparently they're still working, even though we're zombie. Zombies shouldn't have working kidneys. They certainly stabbed him a whole bunch, try to teach us a lesson. Hi, how are you? My finger of death. Get out of here. These goblins are clearly the Hydra of Sharn. Strike one of us down and 2 will grow to other places. Hail goblins.
We had a deal, Talion. Flora calls out when she sees the known inquisitive among the attackers. Nobody quits the Dark Lantern, Flora. You're a loose end, Talion responds. And you're done playing house. That's all of them, at least for today. We need to keep moving, Thora says. If you want to talk to Evan, you need to do it now.
Alright. So we want to ask him if he has any dirt, and then we need to ask him, or then we need to turn around and ask her if she's able to get some help towards us here. Answers are, of course, yes and no, but 23 minutes, 24 minutes for 33,952 and 536 Reaper points. Not too bad. Kind of... Oh, we need to talk to that guy first and then open the door, and then we would have got that experience, I guess. Seems bad. Solve the riddle would have been nice, and then we could have killed one more guy to finish cleaning up the streets. I feel like we missed these optionals by, like, this much, like sequencing errors. Alright, buddy, I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. Do better than I did when you come through here. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like the video, and we'll see you next time. Toodles. Alright, I think... I know that, again, it's early. I think we're going to wrap up here. So I can get ready to go see the dock. Get some food in me before I have to go do that. I'll try to get these videos uploaded, but I also need to go back and add links to Graham's DDO Puzzle Solver app. When I got her attention earlier today, I asked her where she'd like those linked to, and she said, please just link my personal blog. And here's the page directly with the information on it, so I will do that. If you guys are, looking for a good way to some resources, you can't go wrong with Grimm's Planner and the DDO Wiki. With that, everybody, I think I'm going to get out of here a little bit early. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys. It'll probably be around between 8:30 and 9 tonight, I imagine. Try to catch up. Tonight's like the night that the wife and I get to watch all the TV, the shows that we missed earlier through the week. Because it is not D&D week. We'll have D&D next week, I believe. On the 6th. Yeah. Yep. So tonight will be a personal night. And I hope you guys have a good time. We'll see you again real soon. Toodles.